I'm Danielle, your host of the A Bridge to Motherhood podcast, the place where moms like you learn to thrive, not just survive through pregnancy, birth, and postpartum. I'm a birth and postpartum doula and a mom of two who's been where you are. My first pregnancy was filled with so much excitement, but it was also marked by stress, anxiety, and fear of the unknown. I thought I had everything mapped out, but when postpartum hit, I realized how unprepared I was for the physical, emotional, and mental toll of motherhood. It was overwhelming, lonely, and nothing like I imagined. When I found out I was pregnant again, I knew I needed to approach things differently. I made it my mission to not only prepare for postpartum, but to prioritize myself in the process. That shift changed everything. Now I'm here to help you do the same. Whether you're navigating your first pregnancy, feeling buried under endless advice, or struggling to figure out what you actually need for postpartum, this podcast is your safe space. You'll find practical tips, honest conversations, and expert insights to help you feel informed, supported, and empowered through every stage of motherhood. If you're ready to feel confident, prepared, and truly supported in your motherhood journey, stick around. This is for you. Welcome back, friends, to the A Bridge to Motherhood podcast. It's going to be a great week. Today, I have a solo episode, and then on Friday, I have another guest episode for you. I'm so excited for you to hear it. It is with Abby Dozen, who is a sweet friend of mine now. I would like to call her my friend, and she is releasing her book and journal today, April 8th. So go check it out. It is called Realistic Self-Care for Moms, a guided journal for taking care of you while taking care of them. So on Friday's episode, you are going to hear all about journaling as a self-care practice and this awesome journal combo book that she has created. And I really think that you are going to love our conversation. Now let's dive into today's episode where we are talking about how to take control of advice overload in pregnancy and postpartum. We have all been there, receiving this constant influx of unsolicited advice, opinions, and judgments. Everyone has their own beliefs about pregnancy and childbirth and postpartum, and people love to share those opinions and judgments. So today we're going to walk you through strategies to filter out all that excess noise and focus on what truly matters for you in your journey. I too often have been told by clients of mine that a family member or a coworker or a friend has given them a certain piece of advice or maybe made them feel less than because they've chosen to do things a different way. But I really want this episode to help empower you to feel really strong in your own beliefs and systems that you want to create in your family and around your pregnancy and postpartum experience. Advice overload is such a common challenge for expecting and new moms. Whether it's from friends, family, strangers, people on social media, everyone seems to have a suggestion about what you should be doing. And that constant bombardment of advice can feel you leaving so confused with conflicting opinions. You might feel pressured to try to do things a different way, even though that's not what your gut is telling you, or you might just feel very overwhelmed. It's easy to get caught up in worrying about what everyone else thinks you should be doing instead of focusing on what's right for you and your family. This episode is designed to help you sift through all of that advice, establish boundaries for yourself, and trust your instincts as a mom so you can enjoy your pregnancy and postpartum journey with confidence. Lesson number 1 is establish clear boundaries with advice givers. Sometimes a boundary is as simple as one that's in your own head, that you're just not going to respond to that advice. You're just going to smile and nod along. And other times it has to be more intentional. So let's talk about how we can do that in a kind way. Setting boundaries with the people around you about the type and amount of advice you're willing to receive is so crucial for reducing your stress and even maintaining your own mental health. When you're feeling confused or conflicted already, when you're adding so many other people's advice and opinions in the mix, it can make you trust yourself even less. If a family member or a friend is just insisting on continuing to give you their thoughts, just gently let them know, hey, I appreciate your input and I'm so glad that that worked for your family, but I'm going to make decisions based on what feels right for me and our family. And if they persist and aren't able to hold that boundary, maybe you need to consider limiting your interactions with them or establishing times when it's appropriate to have those conversations. Maybe you don't answer the phone the first time they call, but you take a moment to breathe and reflect before calling them back. Maybe you just tell them, hey, I only have 5 minutes to talk right now. Or if they start to bring up a topic that is really causing you stress and anxiety, switch the topic of discussion. If something comes up about the way you're feeding your baby, just move along and say, hey, what are your plans for this weekend? I know that it can be very difficult to set boundaries, and I have been there myself, but over time I have learned to speak kindly and have those difficult conversations. It is so important for you to learn how to set those boundaries and stand up for what you believe in, because not only are you your own advocate, but you're advocating for your baby as well. And so it's a really good practice in your motherhood journey. Lesson number 2, prioritize quality advice over the quantity of advice. Focus on the advice that comes from knowledgeable, trustworthy sources. Let's be real, not all advice is equal. Some might be based on outdated information or personal bias, while some is backed by evidence and experience. So choose to listen to advice from who you trust, whether that's someone who has expert experience in that field or a really experienced mom who has been where you are. If something doesn't feel right or makes you feel uneasy, it's okay to question it and seek out more information. Take people's advice at face value. Just because someone has an opinion doesn't mean it's the best or the most informed advice for you. Lesson number 3, create an advice filter system. So I think this is kind of fun. Develop your own personal filter for evaluating advice. Sit down and think about questions that you can ask yourself to see if this is advice that you would seriously consider. Does it align with your values in parenthood? Does it align with your family's goals? Does it align with your child and their unique personality and needs? What works with your situation? Because only you know what is going on in the walls of your home. This will help you stay focused and reduce overwhelm. Let's take an example. A friend offers you advice on a sleep training method, but it doesn't resonate with you. So ask yourself if it aligns with your instincts or if it's something you feel pressured to try because you're exhausted. Having a clear idea of what feels right for you will help you filter out the advice that doesn't serve your needs. Don't feel guilty about not taking advice that doesn't work for you or feel guilty for doing things a different way. It's okay to politely decline the advice that doesn't feel right or doesn't fit in your personal beliefs or parenting style. Lesson number 4, find support in communities that understand your journey. There are so many amazing groups out there that you can join. You may be able to find a great support group online or locally that can be just invaluable for sharing your experiences, finding common ground, and learning from others who are going through similar situations. Being part of a supportive community can help you feel so much less isolated and more confident in your decisions. I do just want to provide a little disclaimer here that sometimes social media can not be the best place for advice, right? We can rely on it too heavily. And while it can be very helpful, and there are so many great mom hacks that you can find on there, it's also very easy to get swept up in opinions that may not be based on sound advice or maybe go against safety measures. So really take everything that you see with a grain of salt and test it with what we talked about in the last lesson. Test it against those questions, research things, and seek out more information always. Lesson number 5, trust yourself and your instincts. I think so often we forget how powerful our own instincts as mothers are. We have gut instincts. Ultimately, you are the best judge of what works for you and your baby. Trusting your instincts is crucial for making decisions that are in your best interest and align with your personal values. If you feel uncertain about a piece of advice, take a moment, breathe, reflect on what feels right for you and your family, and your instincts can guide you to make the right choice for your situation. Try not to second guess yourself. I know how easy this is, especially as a first-time mom. Doubt and indecision can be paralyzing, but with practice, over time, you will get more confident in trusting your gut and in doing what's right for you and your baby. All right, let's review. Number 1, set those clear boundaries. Go ahead and come up with a phrase that you can use to let people know that you hear them, you appreciate them, but you are going to handle things your own way. Number 2, prioritize reliable advice. Seek advice from people that you trust, experienced professionals, experienced parents. And if someone suggests something that doesn't sit well with you, ask for more information or go and do some research yourself to see if it's a good fit for your family. Number 3, create an advice filter. So develop that criteria for evaluating advice. Get yourself a list of questions that you're going to check it against and use that filter to determine what advice to take seriously and what you want to ignore. Number 4, join a supportive community, whether that's local or online groups where you can connect with other moms who understand your journey. Share your experiences, ask questions, and find support that feels relevant and helpful to you and your own pregnancy or postpartum experience. Number 5, trust your instincts. Practice listening to your inner voice and trusting your gut. You know your baby better than anyone else, and you're the best person to make decisions about their care and your pregnancy and postpartum experience. If you found today's episode helpful, I would really ask that you just share it with a friend, leave a comment, interact with me on social media. I'd love to talk to you more about this and really support one another in our journeys to confidence in motherhood. Thanks so much for tuning in, and make sure you come back on Friday to listen to that guest episode. I can't wait for you to hear it. Have a great one, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much for tuning in to the A Bridge to Motherhood podcast. I'm so glad you were here today. If you loved this episode, I'd be so grateful if you could leave a review for the podcast on whatever platform you're listening on. Share it with a friend or snap a screenshot and tag me on social media. If you decide to leave me a review, go to abridgetomotherhood.com/review. That link is also in the show notes so that I can send you a little gift in the mail. Your support helps other moms to find the podcast, and it truly means the world to me. Remember, your motherhood journey deserves your care and attention. Until next time, keep showing up for yourself, mama, and don't worry, I'm here to help every step of the way. See you soon.